Welcome to Women on the Rise with host Patricia King and Michelle Burkett.
Hello, Women on the Rise. It's so good to be with you today. With us is, of course, Patricia King. And Patricia, today what we want to talk about is the power of purpose. And I know you are a huge advocate of this. And, with women.
Right.
And I talk to a lot of women, and I talk to women who are so proficient in so many things, and so as a result, they are doing a lot. They have a lot on their plate. But sometimes what I'm finding is that what they are doing is not necessarily all coming from their place of purpose, but more about the different assignments that are coming to them.
Right.
So
Right.
talk to us, and let's begin to understand the power of having purpose.
Yeah, I love helping people find their purpose, because when you find your purpose, it's like everything else can flow out of it, and you'll find yourself becoming effective. It defines you when you know purpose. It defines you. And as you said, a lot of times people confuse assignment and purpose. For example, many people will say to me, "Oh, Patricia, your purpose is obvious. You're an author." Or your purpose is obvious. You're a television host. Or your purpose is obvious. You're a preacher of the gospel. But you see, those are just my assignments that are born out of my purpose. So I remember when I was before the Lord one day, I said, "Lord, what did you put in me for me to fulfill, for me to in my uniqueness," because we're all different.
Right.
There are not two people the same. Even identical twins, as same as they are, there are things that are unique for them that only God can fulfill. And it's from what He put in that DNA, that purpose inside. And so I was saying, God, what is it that fuels me? What is it that you've put in me that makes me unique, but also that fuels assignment? Because your assignments can change, but your purpose doesn't. And I realized as I was before the Lord that my purpose, my particular purpose, is to inspire. And it's like, that is if I ever got to a place where I could not inspire, I actually would lose my will to live, because why would I bother?
Right.
What am I going to wake up for?
Right.
So how do I inspire? That's my assignment. So I can inspire people by writing a book. Right. I can inspire people by casting vision, or by preaching the Word of God, or by producing a television program. And everything that we do is to inspire. Now, let's say that someone has similar assignment to me, but they have a different purpose. So let's say their purpose is to educate, that they just live to educate, to give instruction to people. Then, yes, they could write a book, but their book would look different than mine.
That's so good.
Right? It would have a different element.
That's really
than mine.
good understanding.
And they could produce a television program, but it would look different. They could preach the gospel, but it would look different. It would come from a different position. And so when you find your purpose, it's like the assignments are limitless. And the assignments bring fulfillment. But if you're assigned to do something that you're not purposed in your heart to do, it's like, woo, it's
work.
hard. For example, my husband, his purpose is to serve. He just lives for it. And even though he's got physical challenges right now with something we're fighting a good fight of faith against a health situation he's dealing with that hinders his ability to help, he will still find a way to help. He will still, because it's what brings life to him, right? So he loves doing practical things. For example, he loves painting walls, painting walls. I hate painting walls. And you know why? Because it doesn't inspire anyone.
That's right.
But he loves it because it serves people, right?
Yeah.
It's not just a matter of painting the wall. If he just was to paint the wall for, let's say, to make a living, it probably wouldn't inspire him to do so, because his purpose is he has to be able to help someone. He has to be able to aid someone with that. So when you find your purpose, it opens up a whole new realm, and you'll look at what you love to do and what you don't love to do, and you'll say, oh, now I understand it. I love doing this because it's fulfilling purpose. I don't love doing this because it's contrary to my purpose. And so you can have better time management. You'll be more at peace with yourself when you know your purpose, because you are fulfilling what you were created to do and be.
That's so good. And I love what you brought out about all of us being created so uniquely. And it's a beautiful process sometimes with the Lord, right? And in allowing yourself to be before him and to allow what is that purpose to just sort of rise to the top. And it puts something in you of real direction, you know, and identity of this is what I'm born to do. And I liken it sometimes to living without purpose is sort of having a shotgun full of buckshot that you're just shooting at everything and hoping something hits.
And then you never feel fulfilled.
Right. And you're tired.
Exactly.
You know, because when you're living from that place of purpose, you're living from your place of passion.
Yeah.
And there's a joy in your passion, and joy is strength.
Right.
So when you're living with purpose, you're really living, you know, with a sniper rifle or with a laser beam, because you are going right to the source of some things.
Yeah.
And it will help you know what assignments to take and not to take.
Right.
Which helps you with what's on your plate.
Yeah, exactly. and when you're not in your purpose, it produces anxiety, because you're not at rest within yourself. It's like actually trying to put a round peg in a square hole, or the other way around, I guess, a square peg in a round hole. It just doesn't fit. And so you're working hard to try to get it to fit, and it just won't. So it produces anxiety. It can produce insecurity, lack of confidence. In fact, if you're watching this right now and you deal with lack of confidence, chances are it's because you haven't discovered your why yet. You haven't discovered your purpose. And so you're doing things, you're engaged in assignments that don't flow from your purpose. And if so, you'll lack confidence because it doesn't feel like you. It's just not there, right?
Really good.
Yeah.
And I when we were preparing for this show, I felt like there were those who sometimes have struggled with, maybe you feel like you were an accident, that maybe you were unplanned according to your parents. But I want to say God has your plan. You are not a surprise to God, and that you have a purpose in being here. So lean into that and know the value, that nugget that has been put inside of you that's pure gold, that is for this day, this hour, to be released in the earth, and you're here on purpose.
Amen.
So we have a wonderful guest today. Her name is Charity Bradshaw. Charity is part of the Women in Ministry Network, and she helps many of our authors write their books to get them off high center, and really walks them through the process of becoming an author. She's helped so many in the network
I know, she's amazing.
get their books written. But here's Charity on the power of purpose.
Hey everybody, this is Charity Bradshaw, and I just want to send a big hi out to Michelle, Patricia, and the Women on the Rise. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. I'm excited to talk to you about one of my favorite subjects, and that is the power of purpose. I think that each of us, maybe at times in our lives, have been like, I don't know what my purpose is. I don't know what I'm here for. Maybe we took a path that diverted us away from our passions. So we clung to safety. We clung to familiar. We clung to things that our parents maybe wanted us to do. But there was a yearning inside for something more, for something deeper that had a real significance to it. And this doesn't mean a ministry post or something like that, where it's like you become a vocational minister, but something where there is a fire that lights up inside of you, a fire that says, this is something that I was made to do. I was born to do this. So I want to talk to you about a couple of things that the power of purpose does, at least for me, and maybe you can see if these do the same for you. So the first thing is, well, let me ask you this question. What will having a purpose change? And I'm here to tell you, it will change everything. It will change possibly what's on your business card. It'll change how you spend your time. It'll change how you allocate your finances. Because if you're truly living on purpose, it will help you discern what is yes, what is no, what is yours, what is not yours to pick up. So it will likely change just about everything in your life. When God calls us to follow him and he asks us to do what he has for us to do, this is a very important question, a very important thing. Sometimes we sit there and go, well, who am I to blah, blah, blah? Who am I to lead that? Who am I to start something? Who am I to get an education when I'm the first one in my family? Who am I to write a book? Who am I to start a blog? Who am I to help rescue? The question is not about you. The question is not about you. The question is, who is Jesus so that I can do what he's called me to do? When we acknowledge who Jesus is, what he has done for us, how he showed up in our own lives, that becomes the power of purpose. Not about significance, not about, is this all about me? It's not. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about who is Jesus in us. How dare we try to keep that part of us hidden? We don't hide ourselves under a bushel or hide ourselves under a lampstand or hide ourselves under a bucket or anything like that. He wants us to shine. He wants us to let him shine through us. So the question is not, who am I? It's who is Jesus. And now I'll tell you, that will begin to align you with your purpose and help you come out of that unafraid, unashamed, all of those good things. The next thing is purpose calls us out of comfort. I know that's really not good news sometimes because like any good pair of pajamas or sweatpants, comfort feels so good. Comfort is easy. Comfort is nice. Comfort is peaceful. Comfort doesn't require much of us. But I'm telling you, purpose will draw you out of comfort. And I'm sorry. I'm just saying I'm sorry that it's going to require some discomfort, some stretching, some growth. And these are all things that make us better, that help us evolve into more of who God has called. It helps refine us. It helps break off some of those rough edges, some of those things where we were letting fear win versus letting God win. Amen. Purpose activates our faith. It stretches us. It's easy to rely, especially if you're a high performing person, if you've got talent, if you've got skill, if you've got brains, if you've got hustle, it's easy to sort of hide inside those gifts and those skills. And they're there for a reason. I'm not saying they're not. But what purpose does is it ties all of those skills and giftings and attaches it to faith. It's not going to leave you in an area that you are fully capable by yourself of doing. Purpose is going to draw you out of that comfort, out of that familiar, out of that self-reliance, out of that independent spirit and into a collaborative process with Jesus, where you're going to have to put some faith in the game, some faith out there, some faith activation to help you move forward. The next thing is our obedience demonstrates that faith. Our obedience says, I agree. Our obedience says, yes, Lord, let it be done. Just like when Mary was offered the opportunity to host Jesus growing inside her body, she said, yes, Lord, let it be unto me. She submitted herself. She became quite uncomfortable, right? To do her purpose, to fulfill her destiny. It will call us out of those comfortable places. this is my last point. All right, I'm closing, right? Purpose shows who Jesus is way more important than who we ever were. I want to encourage you today, if you're reluctant to step into your purpose because something about your past, something about your experiences, if you feel like that is more important than who Jesus is, I want to let you release that fear. I want to let you release that anxiety that it's more about you than him. It's not. It is more about who Jesus is than who you ever were. Today in church, we learned about who God intentionally placed in Jesus's lineage. And it's in the book of Matthew chapter 1. And a lot of times we skim it because it's just like so-and-so begat so-and-so. But I'm telling you, he listed those things and those people for a reason. Why? Because it's a mess. It's a bunch of imperfect people strung together that eventually led us to Jesus being born. He included all of those imperfect people in his perfect plan. And that, my friend, makes room for you and me. I hope this encourages you. You have purpose, and there is a lot of power when you say yes to that purpose. God bless you guys.
Thank you, Charity. That was excellent. I so appreciate you sharing on what our purpose does for us. And I also really liked the view of understanding our focus is Christ. Mm-hmm. It's Christ in us that is the fuel even to our purpose.
Right. And he's the one that actually created us for even every assignment that we would put our hand to. So he knows how to wire us, and he understands it. He's seen the blueprint, he knows. Mm-hmm. And when we're in relationship with Jesus, all of a sudden we'll rise up into purpose because he just will lead you right into it, and you'll see it. But I just want to say too is that don't be afraid to reach out for help. Like you might be sitting there thinking, oh, I wonder what my purpose is. I have no idea what my purpose is. Well, there's helps for you. In fact, I have a course that we have on our Patricia King Institute that a lot of the women in our network have taken, and it's really helped them a lot. And it is called Discovering Your Why. Your why is your purpose. And so that can be of help, but also getting a good seasoned life coach to help you, because it's such an investment. When we invest into ourselves, especially things that will help us for the long term, and knowing your purpose definitely will make your life easier. It'll streamline your efforts more. It'll build your confidence. I mean, there's so many benefits that come when you grab hold of your purpose. So know that you're valuable and you're worth investing into. And so just want to encourage you into that. And also, we in Women in Ministry Network would love to help you even empower your purpose. And so we have a whole network of women who are called to serve the Lord in all their different avenues of expression, of assignment, and ones who walk within their purpose. But we'd love to be able to empower you, to cover you, to bless you, and to give you a really safe environment to build relationship with others that are passionate about serving Jesus. So if you want to find out more about Women in Ministry Network, please go online and reach out to us and apply. We would love to be able to partner with you and what God has for a purpose in your life.
That's so good. One of the opportunities that we have in Women in Ministry Network is opportunities for possible ordination through the network. And one of the questions I ask those who are applying for ordination when I talk to them is, what is your purpose? What have you discovered your purpose to be? Because when you're standing in that place of being commissioned into something, there really needs to be not this vague something or other, but a real precision in your soul that comes from your spirit, right? Of this is what I'm being commissioned into. Because in that moment, it's really a holy moment.
Right.
And there needs to be, when you come away from that moment, there needs to be a real definitive path. You may not know all the assignments, but you know, this is what it's about.
Yeah.
This is my commissioning into this purpose.
Yeah, it helps you identify who you are.
It does.
You know, and it's just so beautiful to watch people unfold, right?
Yeah,
it's almost like
really
a flower opening up. I've seen it over and over again when all of a sudden the light goes on and you realize, and especially in my course, Discovering Your Why, so many in that moment have their aha moment. That's what we call it. It's like the light goes on and they think, whoa, and then all of a sudden they take off.
Yeah.
It's like the bud opens up, the petals come forth, the fragrance is released, and it just makes life so exciting.
Yeah. Discover your why on PKI.
Yeah.
And another part of that too is I have found your purpose shouldn't be a whole paragraph of something.
Right.
It should really come down to the nut and bolt.
Sure.
You know?
Just like of Jesus, it says in the Bible, for this purpose, the Son of God was made manifest.
Boom.
Tells you, for this purpose, the Son of God was made manifest. Why? To destroy the works of the evil one.
That's it.
Isn't that in a nutshell?
That's
Isn't
it.
that everything
Yes.
in him? To destroy the power of sin, to
That's so
destroy the
good.
power of the grave, to destroy
Yeah.
the power of hell, to destroy the power of the enemy in our lives. That was
All
his
those
purpose.
assignments.
For this
Yep.
purpose, the
Yep.
Son of God was made manifest.
That's so good.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Well, we hope that you will go and you will really dig into this place of finding your purpose and begin to work and operate from that place. I have a decree for you all you purpose finders and women of purpose. You are God's poetry. You are his workmanship. You are created with purpose and destiny, holy and unique. Your plans will be established as you commit your purposes to the Lord. Your steps are established in the Lord as you delight in him, and he will give you the desires of your heart and fulfill your purpose. We sure do love you. Have a great day.
Amen.